Hello and welcome to CousinJackFoodie.com. Another cooking video. Today we're going to do one of my family favorites from the Wayback Machine, chicken and pastry shells. Go over the ingredients here. The sharp-witted will notice this says thigh fillets. What that actually should be is 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. My mistake there. Package of puff pastry sheets rather than the small discs that cook up into cup. You get more dough out of that. I got some dried rosemary and 2 packages of whipped cream cheese, the chive and onion variety, and a little bit of olive oil. And I missed a couple ingredients. I'll list them as we go along and below the video here for you. To get started here, we're going to trim off the excess fat and junk off the chicken breasts. I like to slip them into a Ziploc bag and give them a little pounding to get them an even thickness. I'm shooting for about 3/4 of an inch here. Sometimes the chicken breasts are really thick and really too hard to cook in a quick manner. So if you flatten them out a little bit, about 3/4 of an inch is what you're looking for. Get them all consistently the same, and then they'll cook evenly when you get ready to throw them in the pan and brown them up. And now we're going to season both sides. I got a little dried rosemary. I like to crumble it up in my hand a little bit first. Sprinkle it evenly all. You don't need much. It's pretty strong. I got a little shaking of white pepper next. I like white pepper on this. Give some kosher salt. And then I like just a little bit of garlic powder. It's optional too. The white pepper and garlic powder are optional. Just do it to your taste. And we'll get ready to brown these up. I got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then 2 tablespoons of butter. It raises the smoke point a bit. Throw your chicken breasts in the pan. Try not to crowd them. If you're going to make 8 of these or more, obviously you need to do these in batches. And you just want to cook them and brown them and get a little bit of color on them. You don't want to cook them all the way through here. We're just looking for kind of subjective, but maybe halfway cooked is what you're looking for in the end. And when you flip them over, you just want a little color on them. Nice evenly browned. That's where the butter and the olive oil helps a little bit with that. Again, just spread them around there. It probably takes 4 or 5 minutes per side here. You just want to get some nice color on them, and again, about halfway through, whatever you think halfway is done. If you cook them all the way, they'll dry out pretty badly in the oven because they're going to spend 20-25 minutes in the oven. So a little color and you're good to go. And we'll take these out. You can see here there's still a little give to them here. They're not all the way cooked. They'd still be basically right in the center. They'd still be raw. Just take them out and we'll put them on a paper towel lined plate, drain the excess grease on them, and you want to let these cool for a little bit. Cool on the counter to about room temperature, so you don't before you place them on the dough. You don't want them too hot when you start rolling them up. And now we've got our puff pastry sheets here. I've got them cut into 8 squares. That gives you enough to work with. You can put a little bench flour down to cover both sides of the pastry, and then it won't stick as badly. Obviously, I'm not much of a pastry chef here, so just kind of roll it around. You want to get at about an 8-9 inch square. Just give you some room to fold them over. So just be kind of careful and get it all spread out there. And lay half of one of the chicken breasts is plenty for each serving. So put your half a chicken breast on there, and then I put about 2 ounces. Looks like a lot, but that's really it just makes it about 2 ounces of the cream cheese on each package, if you will. You can run some down the sides if you have enough room with your pastry sheet there before you start folding it up. And take a little plain water and brush the edges a little bit. Helps it stick together. And then we'll just fold it over and press the seam down firmly against the water. Again, the water acts kind of like glue in there. It'll stick it together. If you get a little bit excess dough, you can trim it off. That's where that sheet helps. You got a little more dough to work with. And then just roll up your edges, kind of like a pasty or a tart, if you will. Just kind of seal up your edges. That if you get a little gap, a little opening, you can stick a little water in there and put a little patch on there. It works just as well, and nobody will know the difference. Nice, neat little packages. Made 6 here this time, so then I just go ahead and put those on a parchment-lined baking sheet. You can use a silk pad if you have one. I mixed up a little egg wash here. I got 1 egg white and about a tablespoon of cold water. Mix it real well, and give the each one a little paint job with the egg wash. It helps them brown a little bit in the oven. If you skip this step, they just kind of look a little bit pale. This just kind of helps the presentation a little bit, and actually does crispen up the puff pastry a little bit in the time it spends in the oven. If you don't really have time to burn, it's going to be in there at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, so it doesn't really have time to get too dark. You got to watch them after about that 20-minute mark, just when they get nice and brown. The chicken will be cooked fine, just keep an eye on them. And again, about 400 degrees. Check them after 20 minutes, and they should look like this. I hope you enjoy them. They're really tasty. Thanks for watching.